device. Step one, you're holding it wrong. When you want to take video on a mobile device, you have to consider how are other people going to look at that video. And pretty much every single time, you'll end up seeing it in landscape form. Turn it to landscape. Additionally, how much did this thing in your hands cost you? This was $1,000. I paid it all up at once because that was my Christmas present to myself last year. So good. It's like my third child. I love it. I don't love it as much as my other two, but I play with it a lot more. Landscape mode, 2 hands. That is the first thing to getting video on your phone. And this is just like, people are going to see it in landscape. Even when you're looking at video on YouTube, on BuzzFeed, on Reddit, or whatever, and you're holding your phone in the standard portrait style, you're seeing it in landscape. That's how it comes. So, landscape plus 2 hands. Costs money. Next. Now, what if someone's moving around? They're moving around like that. And they're moving like this, that way too. Right? If you turn with your arms, you have a problem with the human system. We are metal-boned creatures, calcium's a metal, that are basically sacks of carbon full of water. We are dynamic beings. We are bouncing. We are moving all the time. Especially you're exercise science students. All my exercise science students, you're wiggles. None of you can sit still. I sit up here and watch the rest of the class. I can sit here just like this. I see all these, I can't stop moving. You're all like my 5-year-old. He's too cute. Anyway, so we want to try and get rid of the wiggliness inherent in human beings. So whenever you're using a camera, whether it be your phone, whether it be a video camera you're holding, whether it be a standard like picture camera, maybe you go to a wedding and people have the disposable cameras on the tables. Holding it properly, right? Landscape mode. Bring your elbows in. Turn with your core. I'm not moving the phone because when I do that, you probably can see it. Well, or I could go out of that. Go back there. If I move it like this, it wiggles. It jiggles. My hands are moving. My arms are moving. There's a dynamic system. It's all rubber bands and water. Bouncy. Pull your elbows in. You turn with your core. It becomes much smoother. That's because you're engaging more muscles. You're engaging your core muscles, which are large, long strand muscles. It makes it much more smooth. So, elbows in, turn to the core. The next bit. As you saw, I ran back and forth like a silly person across the front of the room here. And oftentimes when you're taking video, you're watching someone do a thing, right? Now you don't want to zoom in, because the zoom on your camera, no matter how good your phone is, no matter how good whatever camera you're using is, zooming in causes loss on definition, and it causes a fisheye lens effect. Because the lenses on all cameras, all of them, are a bubble. It's like a half a bubble. And the software within this device helps mitigate that kind of curvature, but it doesn't really get rid of it. In the next project, we're actually going to visibly see it. We're going to make it happen. We're going to look at what happens when you move somebody from the edge of a frame to the middle to the edge again. You'll notice they go, woo, grow, because there's a certain amount of lensing effect. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. We also want to be able to follow any action that's going on. So, if you can stand still, great. Feet shoulder width apart. Do not lock your knees. A little bit of a horse stance, right? A little bit of a horse stance, like yoga. Right? If you can move, if you have to move in order to follow the kind of the action that's going on, you kind of want to walk in the Tai Chi style walk, which is forward, and then the other foot goes base outwards. And so you're not locking your knees. You're walking smoothly and evenly, keeping those elbows in, turning with your core. This will make really nice, very clean footage, moving at an even pace. If I need to zoom in on something, I move to the thing. I don't zoom in with the pinch, right? I want to engage the body for it. So, it keeps coming out of that, doesn't it? Landscape, 2 hands, elbows in, turn with your core. Horse stance, and Tai Chi walk. Makes sense when you think about it. Okay, last 2 of these. Ideally, with any camera, you have it on a tripod. Tripod, 3 legs, makes triangles. The triangle is the strongest shape in nature. It's stable. It's the first stable shape. Yes, tables come before them because it's even more stable, but it's more complex. The first most stable shape is the triangle. So if you can, you want a tripod. Oh, you probably don't have. Anybody carry a tripod on them? Not anybody. Come on. No. So become the tripod. You're going to go to the walls. You're going to go to the doors. Get in there. Do it real quick. Run. Now, go. Am I kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious. Walls, doors, telephone poles, trees, large boulders, movable objects, a space station. I don't know, whatever you can get your body to
My
catch.
bad.
No, you're good.
You want to have your elbows in. You want to put one shoulder on the back of you into said item, into the wall, not into this door, into the door jamb, right? In the door jamb here, I'm going to take this foot straight down. All my weight's going this way, other foot, out. I am making a triangle. I am letting all of my body, all my weight, go into this. If I'm doing it here, same thing. I got one heel against the wall, one foot out, shoulders against the wall. I'm keeping my elbows in, I'm turning with my core. I'm letting the wall absorb the bounciness. I'm taking the me out of the equation. So if you have the ability to stay still, find a wall, find a tree, find a doorway, lean up against it, become the tripod. Quick, back to your desk.
I don't know. About to eat like 10 gigs of storage though. That shit's gone forever.
Now, and this is what I suggest you do. You're paying to be here, right? That makes me the employee who is serving you, the customer, the patron. Why don't you record your lectures? You're paying for them, right? As long as you don't put them on the internet for profit, that's not a violation of intellectual property rights. So, if you want to get your lectures, if you want to record somebody doing something in a concert hall, whatever, you want to make that tripod happen, but you're sitting. Well, there's usually something in front of you. Even in a concert hall, there's usually a chair in front of you. Become a tripod there. Make the desk be the tripod. So you have yourself like this, elbow, elbow, sternum or chest, into the desk or chair, hold with 2 hands. That's it. You will be very stable. This is great for weddings. This is great for if you have like a little brother or sister, nephew, niece, whatever, who's doing one of those school plays and it's just terribly cute, but let's face it, you gotta record it, otherwise your aunt's gonna yell at you for not putting it on YouTube or on Facebook. Facebook most likely. Right? Desk it. Become a tripod here. Use this. Use the desk as a tripod. Desk it. Okay, those are the 5 ways you can improve your mobile video. In that order, too. Best way, landscape 2 hands, bam. That makes your videos way more watchable. Elbows in, turn with your core, makes it less shaky. Horse stance, Tai Chi walk, means you can follow action and it's still less shaky. Become a tripod, makes it stable. I mean, it's damn well watchable. Desk it, hey, you've got a spot, you can actually just take yourself out of the equation altogether. Where you're just making the camera point in one direction. You want that. There are 2 considerations though. One of them is sound. So you're holding a phone. Fundamentally, this thing is designed to catch your sounds, even when you're recording something. It's still designed to catch the sound coming off of you. Its microphones are designed to point towards the nearest point source and try not to pick up things that are far away. It's how it reduces the interference. Problem is you breathe. You hold your breath. That's not going to work. You're just going to pass out. So, when it comes to these sort of things, you've got to be careful about sound. Outside is even worse. In an inside environment, it's not so bad, maybe a little echoey, but outside, wind blows, birds chirp, cars drive by. So you've really got to be careful about how the sound comes out on stuff. How do you do that? Well, one of the simplest things is you probably have a pair of headphones that have a little microphone in them, right? Plug them in. If you want to record what someone's saying, you give them the microphone half. You could have them as Bluetooth. It could be completely wireless too. Give them the microphone half. So they can speak into that. Otherwise, you kind of want to just get rid of the sound. You want to minimize it as best as possible. The last thing is light. But not just light in general, but light source. Yes, it's got to be bright enough so you can see. Okay. That's common sense. But how is that light getting to your camera? Right now, this is a great environment. Look, there's a reason why the lights in this room have these crystal-y plastic covers on them. You ever wonder why? It's because it makes the light diffuse. You can look at that, it's not burning you, but you can still see everything because the light's being bounced around in all the directions. So it's not a point light source. It's not something bright coming from one direction. My earlier class is at 4 o'clock in here, videography class. We might actually get to go outside. It's during sunset. That sun is on the horizon. It is blazing, brilliantly bright, and burning your eyeballs out. Also completely destroys any footage you take. It just sucks. Point light sources are a problem. Backlighting things, having light behind the thing you want to film while you're in the dark, makes it into silhouettes. If that's what you want it to be, that's cool. If that's not what you want it to be, then it sucks. It completely destroys your footage. So what do you do about it? You want diffuse light. If you can't make diffuse light happen, say like this, or being out on a rainy day, rainy days are a great time to actually do video outside. The light's completely diffuse, comes from all directions, no shadows. If you have to, put the sun to your back. Put the spotlight to your back. If you're out on the football field taking video of plays happening so they can study it back in the locker room, they have those great big lights out there. Make sure that your light is behind you while you're video recording. That's true for anywhere. You have to think about where's the light coming from. If it's from one spot, one source, get that one on your back. Otherwise, diffuse light is good. Okay, that's the lesson. Stop recording.